Okay, so we're going to talk about Livy's training collar. So this is her remote collar. This is the tool that allows us to give Livy more freedom when we start working on off-leash training. So how you turn this collar on. You want to make sure that this collar is turned on before you put it on Livy. That way you don't have to fight with all of her fluff and hair. So how you do that is you see that there is a little red dot on the collar right here. You are going to connect it really quickly to the red dot on your remote. So if you look at your remote right here, the red dot on the side, that is the magnetic key to turn the collar on. So you take the collar, touch it together, you'll see a green light. The green light means it's on and charged, and it'll flash every few seconds to let you know that it's still on and charged. To turn off the collar, it's the same thing. Where's that? You touch the two together, red light means it's off, green light means it's on. So you turn the collar on by touching the two together, turn this on, and then you're gonna put this collar on Livy first thing in the morning. She can wear this collar for 10 to 12 hours a day, every day, to make sure that your training stays consistent and that she doesn't become collar savvy. Collar savvy means that your dog only listens when they have the collar on, and we don't want that. We want to eventually fade this collar out of training, but that's not going to happen for a while. You just want to make sure you stay consistent with Livy. Next, we're going to turn the remote on. The remote does not have to be on in order to turn the collar on. It's just a magnetic key. So, to turn the remote on, you're going to flip it to the back side. You're going to see the big button in the middle right there that has an L in it. You are going to push and hold it until you see the blue light. So it is on and ready to go. And it'll flash green to let you know that it is on and charged. Her screen will look like it has the number 20, an M on the side, and one D that is not flashing. So hopefully we can see that in the video. That means her level's 20 out of 100. That just means that if she makes a mistake or doesn't want to come when you call her, you can give her a correction from a distance, hence the off-leash training. But you can use this more consistently than that. You don't have to just use it for come when called. You want to use it for all the commands. Heel, sit, down, place, come, leave it. All of the commands that she knows, you want to reinforce through this remote. So let's say you tell her to heel and she starts to try and walk in front of you. You would say no, tap the button, and tell her to heel again. That's going to be the way you do it. And now I'm going to put this on so you can kind of see. I can feel level 20. Is it a little uncomfortable? Yes, but it is not unbearable. See, I can push this all day and it'll be fine. For Livy, it's a little bit more uncomfortable for her, but the point of the collar is to have her avoid the stimulation so that she can have more freedom, so that she listens. So if you have her out and you're like, let's practice come when called, and if you tell her come and she's like, no, I want to sniff this grass, you can say no, give her a correction using the black S button. So this is the main button you're going to focus on. So if you look at your remote, it's on the side, black S button, that's level 20. So this is the primary button you are going to use. The red button right here is the boost feature. So it's actually going to increase her level by double. Okay, it's going to increase it by 40 to 40. This is for emergencies only. I have not needed this with Livy, and I took her to the park. We were pretty much off leash. I did have a safety net on her. You should have a safety net on Livy. I wouldn't practice completely off leash until you've mastered all the commands on leash first. Then you can start going into off leash training in controlled environments. Just use common sense and don't practice, near anything dangerous. So this is if she were to see something super distracting, like something that really interests her, maybe a squirrel, and she's just like on it. When dogs are more focused or intense, their pain tolerance goes up, so that's why we need something a little higher than their normal comfort level. So that's why we have the boost feature. It's red for emergencies only. On the other side, you have vibrate. I don't use this much with dogs. You can in the future, but not right now. You want to make sure that she listens to your command. What I think vibrate is, it's more of a warning. So you don't want her to get comfortable with just getting warnings, because then she's going to get a little bit more pushy with her commands. You want to be firm, consistent, say, no, you've made a mistake, here's your correction, and move on, versus, no, please don't. You want to be firm in the beginning, especially. It takes a dog 2 weeks to learn a behavior, 4 to 6 months of consistency for them to have long-term memory on the command. So let's talk about the other features of this remote. So this right here is the dial. This can increase and decrease the level. Right now I have it locked. How to unlock it would be to push down and hold it. And then you can actually decrease and increase the levels. The reason I have it locked is so we don't accidentally turn it up or down on Livy. So I'm going to put it back to 20. I'm going to push down and hold it. That way it locks it at place, so we're not accidentally changing any levels on her. You also see that the letter M is right here. That stands for momentary, meaning if I push down and hold this button, it's only going to give that momentary stimulation that you see with the red light. So you can change that. Do you need to? Absolutely not. But here's how to change it if you accidentally do it in your pocket or something. This little button on the side right here, tiny button next to the on-off button, you would push and hold it, and you would see the letter C. So if that happens, you want to push and hold that little button until you just see the letter M, and you're all set. Now we're going to talk about the on-off button again. So it's actually a flashlight too. So instead of pushing and holding to turn the remote off, you tap it and it activates a flashlight. So Livy's a dark color. If you have her out at night, she could have a little flashlight on her. So when you put the collar on, make sure the light is facing to where her face is, not like this, so it's not hitting against her shoulder. So, and just tap it again to turn the light off. So it's tap for flash, solid, tap again to shut it off. These are both rechargeable, so the charging port for the remote is on the back right here. Make sure this is push closed because this is waterproof and it does float, but that needs to be closed to protect the electric, all the insides from getting wet. The charger for the collar is underneath here. I went ahead and changed these prongs to the longer ones that come in the box because Livy has really thick hair. So these are a little bit longer than the standard, but they're good for her hair. You want to make sure that this is on snug so that the contact points make good connection to her skin. So I went ahead and put the bungee one on her because it gives a little bit. So if, you know, it just isn't going to be too tight on her. The bungee gives it nice give, so it's comfortable for her to wear. When you put this collar on Livy, you want to make sure it's slightly to the side. It's more comfortable for her to wear it. And then when you put her slip collar on, you want it to look like a P for puppy. P for puppy, slip it on top. This is actually going to sit above the remote collar. So if I put it around my arm real quick, and I'm Livy, and this is, my fist is the Livy's head, this is how the collars will look, except this is going to be underneath, obviously. But it goes remote collar and then slip collar closest to her ears, just like this. And then, in your box here, you have the charger. You can charge both at the same time. The collar should last about 2 days on a charge. If you turn it on in the morning and turn it off at night, it should last at least 2 days. You'll know the juice is getting low in the battery. If it starts blinking orange, that means it's getting low, and then red means it's about to die, so you definitely need to charge it. And the remote can probably last 3 to 4 days on a charge if you shut it off at night or when you're not using it. These are the instructions for the collar if you want to go through that and know what all the buttons do in detail. And then this is your warranty. I encourage you fill this out or email it to them so that if anything breaks in the next 2 years, you're covered and they'll send you a new one for free. Oh, let me put this back in here for you. All right, so that is the remote collar and the slip collar, and we are ready to look at her commands. Heel. Sit. Sit. Good sit. Heel. 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 Good heel. Come on. This way. Sit. Good girl. Good sit. Good girl. Sit. Good girl. Free. Sit. Good girl. Sit. Free. Free. Place. Girl. Okay. 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 Leave it. Leave it. Good girl. Okay. Good girl. Down. Good girl. Down. 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 Good. Down. Down. Free? Good girl.